Miami Dolphins, Philadelphia Eagles. Yeah, this one's going to be a very popular game. This is Sunday Night Football next week, and it is 2.5 in favor of the Eagles over the Dolphins, a total of 53. We see the Eagles lay a complete egg today. Had many chances to win the game against the Jets, had many chances to go ahead and make it a no-doubter, and instead, not only do they not make it a no-doubter, they lose the game outright. The Dolphins go out despite falling down 14-0 against the Panthers, really do just put it all together after that. Look like an absolute truck on the offensive side of the ball. It's an interesting game. I know there's going to be some people who advocate for taking 8.5 with the Dolphins. And a total of 53, that's a little dicey. I don't know, man. I think the Dolphins are a pretty interesting play in this game, so long as the injury report and all of that comes out fairly clean for them, and we're getting about the same type of injury report for the Eagles, because we have not seen the Eagles be able to outscore really anyone this year, and the Dolphins are going to score. Like, they're going to put up points. Can the Eagles get to 27 points? Because it's going to take 27 to beat the Dolphins.
Look ahead here was -2.5. I'm surprised this reopened -2.5. Just with the data points that we had today, Miami, I would say, achieved expectation. So you're not going to see a big upgrade for Miami, maybe a half point from some people. Philadelphia definitely underachieved in that football game. I would expect that you were going to see a downgrade, but the market hasn't liked Philadelphia at all either. So I expect Miami money to come in here. So I think if you wanted to go to the 8.5 with the teaser, I would do that now. I don't think you're going to get, I think this is your best entry point. I don't think you're ever seeing a 3 with Miami, because I think that would get bet almost immediately as soon as it popped up. I have no appetite for Miami in this game, though.
Yeah.
We've talked about this. I want to see Miami do it against a good team. They're beating up on some bad teams. They look wildly efficient on offense. But the one data point that we have against a good team, a good defense, was the Buffalo game, and they got smacked in the mouth, man. I can't get that out of my head. And this is a defensive line that will be able to get pressure on Tua, that will be able to disrupt the rhythm. I expect Miami to get some. I'm just not sure how much that is. To me, I would lean the over until further notice on Miami games, because their defense isn't great either. They don't mind giving up some points, especially when you don't have Phillips, you don't have Ramsey out there. But I'm Philly or pass at this number.
Yeah, I look at this, and so the reason that we kind of were looking at the Eagles and saying, all right, if the Eagles are a team that we want to try and dissect and maybe say that they aren't as good as we think they are, there was enough of a sample here that this secondary definitely is not as good as last year, and definitely has been able to be passed on. Well, what does Miami do better than anybody? And that is pass the ball, scheme up things, get things going. Should mention today for the Eagles that Slay was out. We don't know for sure whether he's going to be back next week or not. That would be a big factor for me. This is why I'm not going to put anything in my account. I need to see what these injury reports look like, because you had an Eagles team today, and it didn't matter because the Eagles just completely botched the game, but they played without Jalen Carter. They played without Darius Slay in this game. Do those guys make it back for this one? If that's the case, it certainly could sway how you look. And honestly, it could sway this thing maybe even up to a full 3 to where you wouldn't have to take the 2.5, because we're talking about a difference maker as a run stopper and a difference maker at the cornerback position, and the combined 2 might be worth a half a point. Yeah, individually they wouldn't be, but the combined 2 being back in there might be for all of this. So I think it's a kind of wait and see for me on all this. Unfortunately, we'll be here in studio, and I'll be here here on Sunday night looking at this one.
Yeah, I'm not sure if I'm not going to bet it right now. Like I said, it would be Philly or pass for me right now. I want to see the injury report. I want to see what happens there. It's going to be a fun game. I'm excited to watch this football game. It's just not one that I'm racing to the window to bet.
Yeah, and that's fair. We don't have to bet every have to bet every game, and certainly this is one that we can always just sit back and literally try to pick these teams apart as they're playing each other, because we expect them both to be there at the end. Health always is barring, but I mean, we expect both these teams to be there at the end. What does a Dolphins team look like against a team with assuming Jalen Carter's back? Really good run stop, so they know you're going to pass, right? And so can Tua and them what do the Dolphins look like? A team that wants to kind of power run against you and then take those deep shots with A.J. Brown. Like, there's a lot for us to kind of in this chess match back and forth.
There is. That's one of the reasons I'm excited to watch this one. You're going to see Miami face new style of offense where it's going to be that ground, and then shots over the top. I think the Philly wide receivers had some success in this game. And you're going to get an angry Philly team off of that loss as well at home to the Jets.
Go to VSiN.com/subscribe to become a VSiN Pro subscriber today.